Friday.
Finally.
I know. We made it. The weekend is here.
We made it. That is right. That's all I care
You
about.
survived the snake.
I know.
We survived.
That was literally terrible.
It was so fun to learn something different about you. I didn't know that I knew that you belly danced.
Yeah,
But I
with
did not
snakes.
know.
belly dance with
Is
snakes.
that like a given? Because I've seen a lot of belly dancers, but I did not know the snake thing was like a given.
You could totally dance with snakes. All kinds of things. Veils, snakes, zills, snakes.
Learn something new
When did
every
you start
day.
it?
In high school.
In high school.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Love, love, love. Shout out to Diane, Arlene, and Samantha, part of my troop.
I bet it's a good workout.
Yes.
Seems like it'd be a good ab workout.
Yeah, not just abs, but legs
total body.
and total body. Yes.
I'm all for that. Minus the snakes.
Minus the
That's
snakes.
terrible.
I'm hoping
Yes.
that's our in case you missed it moment, which we'll get to in just a little bit. Okay, we of course know that we're in the middle of summer.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Temperatures are crazy, and that's why this next story that we've been talking about all morning long is so important.
Yeah, we're starting off with this story. You know, we always hear it. People say, why do you do this story year after year after year? I'm like,
Yeah.
please let me have the day where I don't have to do this story.
Right.
Nothing would make me happier. But you feel like it's something obvious. It's not. Because it happens all the time. And I know we've had some really heartbreaking stories. Sometimes it's a grandparent or a caregiver, you're out of your routine. We don't know the case that led up to this, but it's basically children left in hot cars. And you're always thinking, how could it happen? I would never do that, this and that, but it happens all the time, and we've seen to tragic end. Fortunately, in this case that we've been talking about with a Goodyear mother, the child is okay, so we're happy to report that, but just awful.
So this mom, she accidentally left her baby in the car while she went shopping for 45 minutes. The baby thankfully is okay. She didn't even realize that she had left the baby until she got back into the car and she saw the car seat. The mom, though, is charged with child abuse and endangerment. The mom says that she almost welcomes the charges and the arrest.
Yeah.
She even said to the officer, I'm glad that you arrested me because I can't believe that this happened, and took it so seriously.
And there
that
were
she
other
sees-
people with her, too.
There was. She had a
That's
sister, she had another kid.
Yeah.
And she said she would see these stories on the news and even think, those
Yes.
stupid people, how could they do this?
Stupid people. Really, though.
never know.
Already this year, there's been close to 30 hot car deaths of
gosh.
kids. Yeah. There was another story that I was reading of this assistant professor at a university, and he had his son in the back, it's 3-year-old in the back of the car.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And he was at work in the middle of the day. He goes, I forgot my 3-year-old's still there. And he went in, and the 3-year-old died.
Can
believe
you imagine as a parent? It's just awful.
That was just 2 or 3 weeks
Yeah.
ago. It's unbelievable. And you think that it will never happen to me.
Right, of
But
course.
in this case of this Goodyear mom, she thought that same thing too. But it did happen to her, a 5-month-old baby girl. Thankfully, the baby is totally fine.
Yes.
But again, the mom is facing some serious charges. The thing that is kind of hard for me to even grasp are the tips that you receive. To thinking that this is how you can combat
Right, to
forgetting your
prevent
child.
it, yeah.
It's leave your phone in the back or leave your keys. Don't you think that your baby is more important than your phone and that you would remember that? But for some reason, us imperfect humans think, oh, I need my phone. And then, that's
Oh,
all
yeah,
I know
there's a
for-
baby there.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, especially if your baby's not usually part of your normal routine. Like, say,
Yes.
you're used to going to the office and all these errands you run without your children. So, but your keys you have to have anytime you get in the car, right, to drive it. So maybe that's the little
Leave it
extra.
in the back seat. Leave your handbag in the back seat, something. Because I know even we've seen stories where it was a grandparent who was taking the kid to daycare that day or whatever they're supposed to do. You get in the car, you might get on the phone, you might be doing other things in traffic, and you just get distracted and you forget, and they fall asleep. In the back of the car, so they're not making a peep. Colleen's suggestion also Colleen Socorro, our reporter who was on the story this morning, was also saying, try to put the child in the middle seat. But a lot of times, when you have more than one kid, sometimes these car seats get moved around to different parts of the back. And it's so hard. But, anything you can do to remember. And I think the part that I understand charging parents with this situation. I've just seen cases where the child did pass away.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, it's a negligence thing. Maybe it was, obviously it's an accident. Nobody intentionally does it. And it happens. You just think they just lost their child and now they're facing charges. Is that right? It's heartbreaking. I hate to have to make that decision on whether or not to charge a family that's already mourning,
Yes.
you know, but I understand obviously the need for it. So we're just asking you guys what you think about it. What do you think about the fact that parents who do this or have done this, have been in this situation, whether the child passed away or not, should be arrested and charged? A lot of you guys are saying yes.
Yeah, exactly. So Joy said she thinks that, yeah, this charges should happen because she doesn't understand that she got another baby out of the car, like another child out of the car.
Yeah, we were thinking that too. And with her sister was with her. So there's an aunt who's with you, there's your other older child, and then the baby. But you just think, you know.
Tim Shari says
stay away from
absolutely you should be charged. They sure don't forget their phones. Isn't that sad? You know, another Parenting Magazine did a whole article on this as well. They said that we should get into the habit of taking one shoe off and throwing it in the backseat.
Oh,
That's a good one.
You're not going to walk out without. Again, it just feels so
sounds
weird.
ridiculous. It
feels
really
so weird
does.
that like you need something to remind you that your child is there.
For your child,
But it happens.
It happens so often too.
Yeah, you got to try anything.
Another thing that there was this other article that I was reading about this that they think is contributing to the number of hot car deaths is that this summer especially a lot of states and cities are dealing with temperatures that they're not used to.
Right.
It's like
Not
extremely
used to the
hot, you know, and so people are making these mistakes because they're not used to their cars getting so hot so quickly. But when you're dealing with these temperatures, I mean, especially here in Arizona, you can't leave chapstick in your car without it disintegrating.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. You could see it's almost like its own little greenhouse effect. We threw up a graphic just moments ago, too, explaining if it's 100 degrees outside, just how hot it gets inside that car with the, you know, you have these darker surfaces in your car, the dashboard, the steering wheel. Those all absorb that sunlight even more so. So the cabin, you could see they're reaching 116, 123 the seats, 127 the steering wheel, and close to 160 for the dashboard. So those all have what we call a very low albedo, which means they're absorbing more of that solar radiation than they're reflecting. So it's just baking inside that car. Again, like this greenhouse effect.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, on days like today, in the midst of monsoon, you can't even go by those temperature readings because your body's going to respond to the heat and the humidity. So you have to sometimes tack on several more degrees to get the feels like temperature value, which is what your body's going to respond to.
And I think what's always shocking to me, because you see all those stories around this time of year where reporters sit in cars, in hot cars, just to see how long they can stand it. They always have EMS or somebody on standby. But what always is shocking to me is how quickly you get to those temperatures. I mean, we're talking minutes here. We're not talking, I mean, the case in this situation, they had been inside shopping for 45 minutes. Those temperatures rise so quickly inside the car. It's shocking, really.
It just bakes. I mean, it literally bakes. I mean, we've done like the cookie stuff and all that jazz whenever it gets this hot. It's so sad, but it looks like the majority of you online right now, or as we're watching,
Yeah,
this, are
absolutely.
agreeing that charges should be filed. You know what? I think they should too.
Yeah, Janet says, you know, tired of excuses. Your child is more important than anything. You do seem to remember. I know it's just so hard because I can't imagine you would never forgive yourself. If it was you, there's probably no charge in the world that could make me feel worse than what happened. I think that's the part where I sympathize. And you'd think I think we found like another. I don't think it's really a deterrent from people doing it because it's not an intentional crime.
Yeah,
that's true.
You know, that's the thing. Most crimes we have these charges because you're hoping it's going to deter people, but this is a situation where you're not
being deterred
an
from
honest. Careless, for sure, mistake. And Michelle says most definitely. How do you forget your child in the car? You obviously remembered to put them in. I know, and it happens every time we say that.
You're just running around. I mean, like when I think about getting errands done during the day, you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off. When dragging the kids in and out and things like that, you do have to sympathize. As a parent, you can't judge someone else for the mistakes or the accidents that they make because they just happen sometimes. And in this case, you feel so bad. Thank heavens. After 45 minutes, too. Can you believe that the baby was okay?
That's pretty surprising in itself.
Yeah. 45 minutes.
I can't even imagine.
Baby was taken to Phoenix Children's Hospital, checked out, and totally okay, which is, I mean, a miracle.
That is a miracle. Oh, my gosh.
5 minutes in that car.
Unbelievable.
Oh, it's so sad. All right, everyone. Should we lift the moment for a second?
Yes, we need a lighthearted moment. Very heavy topic. This is one of our, in case you missed it, you couldn't hear me from across the state this morning.
to really like get to know my co-anchor, Rachel. We've had such a great time together, and now I'm well aware that she is terrified of snakes.
Well, didn't we just do the poll today asking people what's the worst thing in this entire state? And what did you guys say? Snakes.
So here we are.
Christy
Christy
from the
Morgan.
Wildlife World Zoo. Why are you doing this to me?
Well, last month I had Snickle Fritz, who is the cutest little Kinkajou
Adorable.
ever.
Snickle Fritz. We're getting
Right?
closer. You're inching closer as we get. Yeah, that's all right. Okay, go on.
Don't take your eyes off of it.
Why is he so chunky?
That's a good question.
I get that question too, but
He's eaten a lot
Yeah.
of small children.
Well, oh my gosh. These snakes are more of a robust snake. So
Okay.
they're naturally just a wide-bodied snake.
I wanted to have a Britney Spears moment, and here we have it.
Okay, we need a
Absolutely.
backstory here,
so
Crystal.
sweet. What are you afraid of?
Okay, so wait, you used to dance with snakes?
Why?
Belly dancing.
Oh my gosh, can we get like a preview?
Not in this dress. Oh, hi, baby.
So is he heavy? Look at you.
She's just so
I was
into it.
listening to them saying you're going to need to do weather with the snake on
The
you.
snake on you. That I'd like to see.
Look at Red.
Oh,
You were using Emma as a shield, Rachel, at the beginning.
Human shield. It's like, get her first.
I will take that. That's
Red
really
was
good.
so sweet. He was giving me a hug.
What do you mean he was so sweet? He was.
You don't know that?
Like she kept saying he is very robust, and she said that he could eat a
He eats
watermelon.
anchors. What? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, stop. A watermelon.
Yeah.
It was just like, I think it's the whole, like the coiling, the body, the constricting, like
Will you-
every part of that
Will you
is
tell
awful.
your story of when you held the snake?
Oh my gosh! So I was at NASA back home, and they were having like a demonstration for kids. I don't know why they had reptiles at NASA, but they did. So then they brought out this giant constrictor, and I got called up with like 2 other moms, and one of the moms started like petting and kind of irritating the snake. She had the head, I was like in the middle part, and another mom was on the tail part. And I literally started crying because I could feel it constricting on me. And my son was in the audience, and I think he was like 4 or 5, and he stands up, he's like, "So my mommy, what's wrong, mommy? You want me to get the snake?" Like he was ready to take down the snake. I'm like, but this is my animal tamer son.
adorable.
But the feel of that on your body, I do not like that feeling.
But you
all.
touched Red, right? And
Sure.
and he's sure. And he's not slimy. A lot of people think
No.
snakes are slimy. They're very dry and smooth.
And soft. It's almost
Yes.
weird. It's kind
I
of
like
off-putting how soft it
I
is.
like snake as a material, like you would use for
Rachel.
bags or shoes.
How dare you make Red a pair of shoes?
How did you get
Boots.
comfortable? I mean, like, because you were dancing, and that's when they would
Yeah,
put the
yeah.
snakes on. You just had never had
Born
any
and
fear?
raised in Arizona. That's how you get comfortable. I don't know. I'm not afraid of reptiles. I just never have
Yeah.
been. I never was conditioned with that, flight or fight response with
Yeah.
them.
That's my
But
only response.
You bring a hissing cockroach or a cricket near me, and I will scream like you did when. You should have heard the little girl that came out of Rachel when she saw the snake. It was.
Well, because there was
So
no
I-
warning, okay? They like to have these wildlife zoo visits be a surprise. They're like, "Oh, we have a special surprise for you today." And I'm walking out thinking, "Oh, it's going to be another cute, cuddly little something." And then there's this ginormous, fat, my new term is robust. More full-bodied, full-bodied snake. And he was there.
Yes.
I was not expecting that.
No, and
That
it
was
was
all
not.
things bad.
I mean, I love Christy Morcom. I love to embrace her every time she comes, but today,
Not this time. I'm like, "Yo,
stay far away.
why don't you just stay there behind Emma?"
Wildlife World Zoo, though, that woman knows anything and
She
everything
does.
about
Yeah.
every single animal, and it's always so interesting
Yeah.
to have her on because I learn so much.
That was one of our first little excursions when we moved here, and I love that place. My kids love animals, and so but it's so fascinating, and it's great to see how close you can actually get to them.
It's almost surprising.
Just don't
how
take
close-
selfies there. They don't do that anymore.
No.
I know they don't like to bring that up anymore. Yes, but as we say, animals are just being animals.
Yeah.
You have to be a smart human.
We've learned that this week, especially after the bison video of that little
Oh
girl.
my
in
gosh,
Yellowstone.
I know.
Animals are animals.
Yeah, that was a fun visit we had today, though. But she promised me next time she's going to bring something
Cute and fuzzy.
more cute and cuddly, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, because this was pretty horrific.
Agreed.
But I was very impressed by your bravery.
I was like, "Oh, come here, baby. I'll just hold you." And then they're like, "Chris, we're gonna go inside, do weather afterwards." I was like,
If you had done
"Okay."
weather with the constrictor, that would have been
I wonder if they
epic.
would have let me bring him in the studio.
You would have gone viral, sister.
Ah.
It's a thought. Maybe next time. All right, everyone, let's get you your freshly squeezed juice.
Yeah.
Check this out. This Facebook post going crazy. Emily McGuire posted these pictures of her birthday cake.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. That's a birthday cake in the shape of an Amazon box. She wrote that when you order a lot from Amazon, you get an Amazon box cake. And boy, is this brilliant. She also used the hashtag hubby did good.
That is amazing.
Wow.
Is amazing. And
I
so
am like
well
an
done.
Amazon lifer because you're just sitting there and you're like, man, you know what I need? I need some new succulents. And you're like, bing, all right, they'll be here in 48 hours. Like, it's the
so
greatest thing on the
great?
planet.
Really, it truly is. Like, I wonder how my mom did it when she needed something.
Remember we had to get in the store, get a pile of kids in the car.
It's a
drive.
total pain.
I know.
And after having like a new baby, you're already,
forget
homebound
it.
for a couple of weeks.
No, we had everything delivered to the house when we had kids. It was just the diapers, everything's too heavy.
That's-
That's an amazing cake, though.
Yeah.
Like the
Lord.
detail
The
on that cake is
barcode
pretty
and the
impressive.
numbers.
Such a cute idea.
I know, I love it.
All right,
so
everyone.
good.
Happy Friday.
Right, happy Friday.
We've
That was
made it.
We covered all the bases, I feel like. And
Yes.
it's like started off with
Kids.
hot cars, went on to snake fears, and finished with something sweet.
Literally. All right, everyone, have a great weekend. Enjoy those nice, cooler-ish temperatures.
What?
Not until next
What
week.
meteorologist have you been listening to?
Next week,
103.
Wednesday.
That's like,
Wednesday's
Bristol.
101.
Oh, yes, but high humidity because chances are for storms are back next week.
Oh, they're back. Okay.
Fingers crossed. Wash your car this weekend.
Watch out for the toxic toads.
Oh, yeah.
Right.